Hi there, Ronnie here, coming at you with a video. Most unexpected video, but I'll take it. Tabletop Scotland, all the events went live at 8 p.m. on the Saturday night, the 10th of June. And there are various events, board games and so on. One particular board game which is really quite popular at the moment, Crokinole, is having a championship, a Grand Prix. And my daughter's fiance, Jamie, he was interested in maybe playing in that Grand Prix. And all the pre-book spaces already have sold out. So if he's wanting in on it, we're going to have to arrive, I think, early on the Saturday to give him a chance to get in. Saffron's already booked him in the how to play, just so that, you know, he can get to play at some level, even if he doesn't get into the Grand Prix. And there's various other events, but the specifics of this video are the RPGs. Now, the way the RPGs work is the person who is running the RPG, you know, when they're sort of putting it all up, say the maximum number of players that they are going to have, or they're prepared to have in a game. And all but 2 of those are available to pre-book. The idea being that on the day, there's always going to be spaces for people who are coming in, maybe want to try something. And I think that's fair. So, I am running 2 games this year. On the Saturday afternoon, I'm running a horror game using active exploits, which I used last year for a love letter spoof game, and it seemed to go down very well. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, at least. So I'm using it for a horror game. And on the Sunday morning, I'm running Toon, because you know what? Why not? I'm doing a James Bond spoof. Because why not? Anyway, I set it for 6 players for each of them. So there are 4 pre-book slots for each game. So last night, just out of interest, I decided to have a wee nosy to see how, well, I'd had a wee nosy on the morning. And in the morning, 2 of the pre-book slots for the Toon game had gone, and 1 of the pre-books for the Active Exploits game had gone. And that sort of made sense. Active Exploits is not a well-known system, so I thought it might be a bit of a hard sell. And obviously the events run for a few months. You know, you've got a good 2 months, near enough, to book yourself in. So I'm quite, you know, I wasn't particularly worried or anything. I was quite happy the fact that there had been a couple, that there was interest in both games. So I checked back last night to find my Active Exploits game had sold out. The 4 pre-booked places have gone, so the only way you can get in that game now is on the day sign up to the 2 spare slots. And then an hour later, my Toon game sold out as well. So again, the only way to get in on that on the Sunday morning is to put yourself in for one of the free spaces. To say I'm buzzing is an understatement. I'm very, very happy. I was not expecting to sell out either game. You always hope you get enough numbers to make it worth running. But you're never ever completely sure. And especially when you are not using well-known systems, which is the case here. I mean, Toon is very old school. And in terms of active exploits, it's very, very obscure. And I'm very pleasantly and happily surprised by the influx. I think this bodes well for the event, because it gives me the impression there's a lot of people going this weekend, or that weekend. So I'm really excited now for it. I mean, I was excited anyway, but I'm now enthused. My games are almost written now. Been doing a lot of work over them. I'll do more work post Free RPG Day, which is a week on Sunday, on the 25th of June. Once that's over with, I can get on with prepping the last bits of the two games. Most of it's written. The Toon game is slightly easier to write because you only really need enough sort of gags and let the players do the rest. The horror game is a little more in terms of atmosphere and sort of building up sort of tension and making people worry about what's around the corner and creating an atmosphere, whilst being very mindful that you're in a room full of people of various ages and that you are running a game on a Saturday afternoon in the middle of summer. So if you're looking to do something very heavy and dark and sort of nasty, that time slot in that setting is probably not the way to do it. If I was going to do something with a bit more brutal, I probably would have taken the later slot on the Saturday, but I didn't want to. So it's going to be more psychological than graphic depictions of violence or anything like that, because you don't need them. Not for this game. But I'm really, really happy. As I've noted on this channel, my confidence has taken a bit of a knock in terms of public gaming. That confidence was helped a little by the Reign of Discordia game that I ran for Phil and Jason and Becky. And I've got my ongoing game with my friends where I'm running Shinetar, but I haven't really run anything at Settlers in terms of a campaign. Last time I ran anything at Settlers was Free RPG Day last year. So my sort of public GMing confidence has taken a bit of a knock. So this has been a wonderful sort of reassurance for me I think I got good players last year. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves last year. Strange, unintentionally, again, I'm running a horror in Saturday afternoon and a comedy game on a Sunday morning. I wasn't intending. It wasn't because I wanted to do horror so much as I wanted to do something markedly different from each other when I was running stuff. And I had thought about doing a sci-fi game, but I'd ran a sci-fi game before, and last year I was doing a sort of zombie survival game because I was running a game based off of Dead of Winter. Where this year I'm doing something a bit more sort of original in terms of a storyline, and not based on any IP. And Sunday morning is going to be a riot because it's Toon and it's me, and it's an excuse for me to tell dad jokes for 3.5 hours, and you know, as if I need an excuse. But I'm hoping the players will enjoy themselves. I think they're interesting games. Obviously, the proof will be in the pudding, but I'm working on them to make sure they're interesting, and I'm hoping everyone has a nice time. And I'm really, really looking forward to Tabletop Scotland now. I'm genuinely excited.